Are you delusional? Because am I delusional? I don't know. Are we delusional? Are we delusional? Delusions. What is there to say about delusions? Can you find my face? I don't know what to tell you. But I have been trying to come to terms with this question. It almost brings more questions. It's a question that just brings more questions. I don't know what I'm going to say about this because I'm working through it as I'm thinking through it right now. And coming on here to process this stuff publicly is not, I'm not ashamed to tell the truth and be honest and be real with the whole world. I realize that it is vulnerable, I guess, but my point in doing that is so we can get to the bottom of this. Me and you, whoever you happen to be. I just want to get to the bottom of it, you know? But there is no bottom. So, am I delusional? Are you delusional? Are we delusional? Maybe. But maybe not. Now, you can take so many different routes when you're thinking about this stuff. You can go down the path that says you are delusional, or you can take the path that says, the more delusional, the better. These are the two extremes that we find ourselves in. We find ourselves battling between being sure of yourself and then doubting yourself. What is it that creates the idea that if for you to imagine a different scenario for yourself? Why is it that we have to stop ourselves and say, hey, no, that's unreasonable. Hey, no. And I mean, I don't know. What is it though that stops us? Is it doubt? Am I totally crazy? Am I just a crazy person? I'm just a crazy person, aren't I? Gosh, everybody's. Am I ashamed? These are the questions. I don't know. These are the questions that come to mind. I'll tell you what. I'm not going to share too much because, quite frankly, it's embarrassing. And if you feel embarrassed about your delusions, then you're probably in the same place that I am. I mean, I'm not so much embarrassed. I would be embarrassed if everybody knew. They would totally make fun of me. And I mean, that's okay. That's totally okay. Make fun of me all you want. But there is one thing about this delusion that I have come to realize. And it is that sometimes you can have these daydreams and these ideas and these fantasies. Your imagination goes crazy. And you end up thinking of a scenario that's ideal for you, I guess. And you connect the dots between what, something happened and something that you thought. And you say, oh, there's a synchronicity, you know? And I think that a healthy amount of skepticism is always good. Too much, obviously, ruins everything. Everything in moderation and in balance. But this one's just a little bit tricky. So, I convinced myself that I would be with a specific person I don't know why. Why does our brain do this? You know? Maybe it lashes on to something that you like the idea of or you want. Shiny object, maybe. I don't know. What is that? Shiny object syndrome? Or something like that. I don't know. But it's odd. Maybe my brain's a little bit different, but it gets latched on to things. And you can't it just goes and goes and goes and goes, and it will spin a web of thoughts and ideas that convince you, you're sure of it, that it's true. But you have no evidence. You have no evidence whatsoever. But there's a certain amount of conviction that you can feel when you travel down those thought paths. And it feels real. Then I will argue. I will sit here and argue, and I'll say that it is real. Because what you're imagining imagines you. Now I can sit here and say a bunch of things that I've heard, and such as that. That's a good one. I love that phrase. What you imagine imagines you. Anything that can be thought of, has been thought of, will be thought of, and does exist somewhere. I think that's a fact, because everything is everything, and nothing is a part of everything. So it can exist. It is real. You're not lying to yourself. But the world around you says you're lying to yourself. The world around you, the people in your life, scream, you're lying, because you're not in that world. I mean, of course that would make sense, right? So now here's the question. Do we carry the delusion all the way until we've gone completely mad? Or do we give in and give up? And all of that conviction is gone. and that feeling you had where you believed that it could be real. You gave it up. I don't think it's a good thing to do that. But also, at the same time, you will drive yourself mad. So, how do you come to terms with this? You think of something that you want, and somehow it enters your awareness. You realize that you want it, and then you think about that thing nonstop and how to obtain it, or I mean, maybe it's a physical object, maybe it's a relationship, I don't know. Maybe it's a circumstance, whatever. And you convince yourself that it's going to happen, or something. And all of the reasons why your brain has connected the dots and figured it out. Yes, this is what is going to happen. And then it doesn't happen. And then you say, well, dang, wasn't I just being delusional? Why would I think such things? But it was so convincing and obvious and so clear. Doesn't make any sense. Have I let myself go? Have I let my consciousness go so far that I can't even believe myself anymore? I don't know. You see, these are the tough questions that you have when facing obstacles in your path, especially when it comes to the journey of manifestation, self-discovery, self-actualization, something like that, you know. All of that stuff is, when you're on that journey, these are the questions. This is the obstacle. This is the tough scenario that I find myself in. And to be quite frank, I don't know what to do. And you think you're coming here for answers. But you don't come to my channel for answers. You come to my channel for authentic expression. You come to my channel for clarity. Because the more confused we get on a subject, the closer we will get to clarity. You come to my channel. You come to my channel to ask questions, to get more questions. I don't give you answers. I give you more questions. Because that's the only answer, is to keep questioning. It's okay for you to be doubtful. It's okay for you to be delusional. It's okay for you to be crazy. It's okay for you to be yourself. And honestly, I'm going to continue chasing, that feeling of curiosity and inspiration. I'm going to continue following that until I find out what pot of gold it's going to bring me towards. because I know that every single time I listened to what everybody else said, it was a bad idea. And when I say everybody else, you know who I'm talking about. I don't need to say it. Yeah. So your willpower, if you can do this, your willpower is very strong, impenetrable. Because that person in your head telling you that you're delusional is the person who doesn't want you to realize that it can happen. It's also the person that's holding you back, because it's the embodiment of all those people who told you you were wrong. That's exactly what they would say. They would say, "Oh, Achilles, you're being delusional. Come back to reality. Get real, bud." No, not gonna happen. My willpower is stronger now that I know this. I have empathy for the others. I want other people to be happy. I don't want to hurt other people's feelings. But you know what? Sometimes you gotta hurt some feelings just to be yourself. Sometimes being yourself just hurts people's feelings. Sometimes that's how it is. But am I gonna stop listening to myself and being myself because somebody doesn't like it? No, because they don't understand what I'm trying to do here. Because they've never tried to do any spiritual work in their life. I don't like to talk about other people. I'm not gossiping. I'm not talking bad. I'm just expressing my frustrations with challenges along this journey. And so that has to do with willpower. Your willpower. And your intention. It's your willpower and intention that makes the difference. Otherwise, your delusions will get the best of you and you will be delusional. But you know how the saying goes. It was delusional until it wasn't. Something like that. It's delusional until it's not. So, don't be worried. But it's healthy. I'm here to tell you it is healthy that you're questioning. Because that's what you need to keep on doing. I mean, relax, take a break, don't overthink, but question, doubt. You have to be a little bit of skeptical. Otherwise, if there was no resistance, what would be the point in doing this? It's yourself you're battling with. It's always been yourself. It always will be yourself, even if it's another person. We know this. But I think that's good enough for this one. Delusion. Delusions, huh? We'll see who's delusional. And you know what? If it's gonna be me, I'd rather be delusional I'd rather be delusional. I'd rather be a crazy, delusional, rambling old man than to be a depressed man who regrets his life. I would rather be crazy and talking to myself and lose my mind and live in a world where I feel that conviction of what I know to be true, even if it wasn't true, even if I was just crazy, man. It would be better than living a lie. So I'm not listening to it anymore. I'm going to listen to myself, even if it is crazy. And that's what you should do. That's what you need to do, too. I don't know what you need to do. I don't know what you need to do at all. I don't even know what I need to do. But anyway, I hope it's helped somewhat. I hope you don't think I'm just some freaking nut job. But, oh well. It is what it is. Anyway, if it did help, let me know. Otherwise, I'll talk to you later. Have fun.